Yes, good morning, students. Today we are going to study about IP addresses. Now, you know that every host which is connecting into that particular network, that is a host and a router on the internet which is connecting over there. Okay, so they need a IP address that can be used in the source addresses and destination address fields of IP packets. So that is, we need to identify that particular host uniquely on the network. So we need some particular scheme, that is address scheme. Okay, how you are going to uniquely identify that a particular the host present on the network. And even a router should also need some mechanism. Okay, how it is going to forward the particular packet, and how the router know that to which particular network this packet belongs to, so on which network this packet has to be forwarded. Okay, so if you want to be able to send a data to any host on any network, so there needs to be a way of identifying all the hosts. So we need a global addressing scheme, that is a one in which that is a no two hosts have the same addresses. So the global uniqueness is the first property that should be provided in an addressing scheme. Okay, so IP addresses are nothing but this internet protocol address. This internet protocol address are hierarchical, unlike Ethernet addresses. So here each 32-bit address is comprised of a variable length network portion in the top bits and a host portion in the bottom bits. Okay, so here what happens is that the total, the 32-bit IP address is going to be divided into two parts. One is a network portion, another one is a host portion. Okay, so the network part of an IP address identifies the network to which the host is attached. Is it clear? The network part of an IP address is used to identify that. Okay, identify the network to which the host is attached, and the host part or the host portion is used to identify each host uniquely on that particular the network. Okay, so in this way the 32-bit IP address, okay, so it is going to be divided into two parts. One is the network portion, another one is a host portion. So the next here it is that the network portion has the same value for all the hosts on a single network. Okay, so in a single network, if you are having a 10, 20, 30, or that is a number of that hosts which are connected, all are having the same value. Okay, all are having the same value. That is the network portion is having the same value for all the hosts, because all the hosts are connected to the same network. Okay, such as a Ethernet LAN. This means that a network corresponding to a contiguous block of a IP address space, and IP addresses are going to be written in a dotted decimal notations. Each of the 4 byte is written in a decimal from 0 to 255. So example, say for example, here it is at 128.208.2.151. So in this way here you are going to write, that is the 4 bytes separated with the decimal. In this you are having two parts. One is a network part, another one is a host part. Okay, so now we are going to see what are the different the types of the IP addresses are there. Okay, different classes of the IP addresses are there. Okay, so here it is that the addresses are divided into the different classes here. Okay, class A address, class B, class C, class D, and next one is a class E. Okay, in this here they have been given the only the first three, class A, class B, and class C type of the IP addresses. So now, as you know that IP addresses here uh, into the 5 categories. Okay, so this allocation has come to be called as a class full addressing. Okay, we are going to call it as a class full addressing. So if you are going to see the first one, that is the class A type of the address here. So you are going to see the two parts are there. One is the network part, another one is a host part. Okay, so in this the first one, okay, in the network part, that is 7 bits for the network part, and the first bit is set to 0. It is reserved. Okay, it is set to 0, indicating that it is a class A type of a network. Okay, so If the first bit is 0, it is a class A address. If the first bit is 1 and the second is 0, it is a class B address. Okay, if the first two bits are set to 1 and the third is set to 0, that is a class C addresses. Is it clear? So if the first bit is set to 0, indicating it is a class A. If the first two bits that is set to 1 and 0, indicating a class B, and the first two bits are set to 1 and the third bit set to 0, indicating it is a class C. Now, in this particular the class A, 7 bits is used to represent a network address and 24 bits is used to represent the host address. So here it is the address is going to the ranging from here 1.0.0.0 to 127.255.255.255. Okay, up to this here you are going to give the IP addresses. So in the class A, so with the help of this particular, the 7 bits is used to represent a network addresses. So how many network addresses we are going to get is that 128 network addresses we are going to be get with the help of this particular 7 bits, and 24 bits is used to represent a host address. It means that each network in the class A is having a capacity to connect up to 16 million hosts. Is it clear? Each network we can connect up to 16 million hosts. Now when we move to class B type of the addresses, here 14 bits is used to represent a network address and 16 bits is used to represent a host address. Okay, so if 14 bits is used to represent the network addresses, so here the network address will start from, so previous one is going to class A is going to be end on the 1 and 1 to 127, that is a 128 networks. So the class B is going to be start from 128.0.0.0 to 191.255.255.255. Is it clear? So here you are having a 16,384 network addresses you are going to be get it. Each network you can connect up to 65,536 hosts. Okay, so when compared to class A, where you are having just only 128 network addresses you are going to be get, but when we in the class B you are going to be get 16,384 network addresses, and each network we are able to connect up to 16 million hosts. Now when we come to this, is it feasible that we can use the class A or the class B? As you know that if you use the class A, okay, only we are going to be get a 128 network addresses. So it is not possible to connect a 16 million of hosts per network. Okay, it is not feasible, and all the IP addresses will be wasted over there. Okay, and we cannot assign a further network addresses over there. And even when we come to the class B, even we are having a more network addresses compared to the class A, that is 16,384. Okay, but here also the host addresses is that 16 bit is reserved to represent the host addresses in the class B, that is each network we are able to connect up to 65,536. Here also it is not a feasible that, so in a single network it is difficult to connect all the 65,536 computers. Okay, so here also most of the IP addresses are going to be wasted. We are not efficiently utilizing this particular IP addresses, and even this particular the world. Okay, so where a lot of networks are emerging day to day, so these IP addresses are network addresses are not sufficient to assign. Now when we come to the class C, so class C here what happens is that, so already you know about that the first 3 bits result, that is a 1 1 and 0 is going to be indicating the class C, and 21 bits is used to represent a network address, and just 8 bit is used to represent a host address. Now if 21 bits is used to represent a network address, so how many network addresses are generated here? 2 million network addresses are going to be generated here. Is it clear? 2 million network addresses. So here you can go for all that is last up to that is here we are going to be connect up to 256 hosts in each particular the network. Is it clear? So if the 8 bits are reserved, all these 8 bits from 000 to all, if you are going to setting to 111, so what is the value you are going to be get it as 256. So here it is that one byte is reserved here for the host, that is from all 0002. If you are going to setting it as all 111, what is the number you are going to get? The maximum is 256. It means that you people are able to connect up to 256. Upon that, one is going to be reserved, so we are able to connect up to 0 to 255 we are going to connect. Okay, so each network we can connect up to these many number of computers. So 192.0.0.0. Okay, so in the class B it has been left up to 191.255.255.255, and in the class C you are starting from 192, that is the network address form, that 0.0.02 to 20 dot 255.255.255. Is it clear? So this is a class C. The next one is the class D. Okay, so it is not given in this textbook here. So there is another one is there, that is a class D. So in this class D, what happens is that, so first three bits are set to 1 and the fourth bit is set to 0. That is 1 1 1 0. Okay, and this is you are having a multicast address here. Okay, you are having a multicast address. So this is ranging from 224.0.0.0 to 239.255.255.255. Okay, so here one thing you just notice that why you are going to rating from 255 is that, so each byte is going to be starting when you are setting all the bits to 000, and when you are going to set all to 111, you are going to be getting up to the that is 255, 0 to 255, one is reserved, or 0 to 255 host which you are going to connect. That is a number which you are going to be getting it from each particular byte. So that's why you are going to writing it as 239.255.255.255. Okay, so this is about this particular the classful and the spatial addressing. That is a class A, class B, and a class C. So we have seen that is the host part and the network part. Now we are going to see about there is another one type of the addressing scheme will be there. So we are not going to following any particular the class. So this is here what you are going to be call it as a classless interdomain. It is a CIDR. Okay, classless interdomain routing. So even if blocks of the IP addresses are allocated so that addresses are used efficiently, but still there is a problem remains. What is that problem here is that, okay, so there is a problem of routing table explosion. So there is a capacity to hold the number of that particular the addresses here in the routing table, that is the buffer space. Okay, based on that it is going to maintain the information. So whenever any particular packet arrives, it is going to see it in the routing table to which network this particular packet belongs to by seeing the network address, and then it has to forward that packet to reach to the destination. So if you are going for the state that is the classful IP addresses here. Okay, so there is a problem that the routing table explosion is going to happen. So in addition, routing algorithms is going to be require each router to exchange information about the addresses it can reach with other routers. So the size of the routing table will continuously goes on increasing. So efficiently is going to be decreased whenever any particular packet arrives. Searching time will like increases here. Okay, and for other particular the networks and all, no sufficient space is available in the router. So larger the table, the more information needs to be communicated and processed. So if the processing grow, okay, if the processing grow at least linearly with the table size, so greater the communication increases the likelihood that some parts will get lost, okay, at least temporarily, possibly leading to routing instabilizes. So now the routing table problem could be solved by going to a deeper hierarchy like the telephone network, for example, having each IP addresses containing a country, okay, that state or a province, city, network, okay, and the host field uh, might work. So here each router would only need to know how to get to each country. Is it clear? Whenever any particular arise, how you to identify to which country this particular packet belongs to which provinces this particular packet belongs to. Only that information is sufficient for that router to store it in the routing table, and by seeing that particular part, it is going to forward that particular packet to the next hop. Okay, so it need to know only how to get to each country or the provinces in its own country, the cities in its state or the provinces, and the network in its city. Is it clear? So that's why here what they are going to do is that they are going to use a prefix here. Okay, say for example here the prefix here they are going to write it as a 1 slash 21 slash 22 slash, they are going to write is that the number of bits which is reserved to represent the network address. Okay, so based on that they are going to decide to which particular the network this packet belongs to, and to forward this particular packet to reach to that network. Okay, some of the examples are there in the book, you just refer that. So here in this given that University of Cambridge, okay, first address is 194.24.0.0. what is the last address of that assigned to the Cambridge University is 194.24.7.255. Is it clear? So here it is that what is the prefix assigned to this particular Cambridge University, what is the network, the part here, the prefix assigned to this is 194.24.0.0. Is it clear? This is the prefix 194.24.0.0. This is the prefix. Okay, and in the next two parts you are going to increase the network addresses, you can create up to 0 to 7. Okay, so 0 to 7, that is these many number the networks they are going to be assigning. In each network they are can connect up to 255 computers. Slash 21 they have written 194.24.0.0 slash 21, representing that 21 bits is used to represent a network prefix. Now similarly, so that is Edinburgh University. Okay, the first address is assigned from 194.24.8.0, starting from that. Okay, 7 is ended for the Cambridge, and next onwards the 8.0 they have given. So Cambridge University is going to be used up to 8 to 11. Okay, so in this they are able to connect 1024 who's in that. Okay, so here they are going to write at 194.24.8 slash 22. 22 bits is used to represent the prefix of network address. So all the hosts which are presented in that they are having the same prefix 194.24.8. so based on this the router is going to identify this particular the network prefix and forward the packet to reach to this particular the network. Okay, similarly here they have given you just see this particular example. Okay, orally it is very difficult to understand this particular the concept of this IP addresses. Okay, so it's there in the notes and even in the textbook you can refer to it. Okay, so uh, so here it is that the hierarchical addresses have significant advantages and the disadvantages are there. The key advantages of here it is that the prefix is that the router can forward packets based on only the network portion of the address as long as each of the networks has a unique address block. Okay, another one advantage is that this makes the routing tables much smaller than they would otherwise be. Router need to keep routes for only around, here it is that 300,000 prefixes. What are the disadvantages are there? The IP address of a host depends on whether it is located in the network. Okay, that is every IP must belong to a specific network. Is it clear? So, but it is difficult to support for mobile IPs because host is moving. There is the mobility will be there for the mobile hosts that move between the different networks, but want to keep the same IP addresses here. Okay, and second one disadvantage here it is that hierarchy is wasteful of addresses unless it is carefully managed. Okay, so this is all about this particular the IP addresses. Okay, thank you very much.